Do you remember when we were kids, you were taught to always do what you were told? Do as I say, because I said so. Things I hear myself say, and they're messages that tend to follow us into adulthood. But doesn't there come a time when it really no longer serves us to simply do what we're told? Imagine that you are the parent of a cute, curious little 2-year-old boy. And one day you take the little guy into his doctor's office to have him check what you think is an innocent little white spot. In that doctor's office, a bomb drops on your life. I'm so sorry. This is an autoimmune condition. It's chronic. There's not really any treatment for this condition. It could spread to other organs of his body, but you're just going to have to learn to live with it. And imagine what you'd be feeling in that moment. For me, it was terrified, devastated. But the worst was I felt hopeless. I felt powerless to do the one thing that I'm supposed to do, and that's protect my son. But even in that moment, there was a voice, and I think we all have it. Don't listen to them. You don't have to do what they're telling you. Don't give up. Try. My inner rebel took a stand that day, and I am so grateful that she did. It's because of her that I've been able to help my son. My husband and I rejected the mainstream medical model, the status quo that said there was nothing to be done to help my son's body find balance. We went with functional medicine. We looked where we had control as parents, and that was food and environment. We also ended up rejecting mainstream corporate nutrition. We went with holistic nutrition. We even gave up all grains for a time to help heal my son's gut. And believe me, as an old farm girl from Alberta, not an easy thing to do, and I still get some flack from some of my family about that decision. But 1 year later, when I took my son back to the doctor, she actually patted me on the back and said, "Deborah, congratulations. You've done what everyone told you you couldn't do." I tell you that story as just one very small example of what's possible for us when we refuse to accept the status quo and simply do as we're told. So for you, where in your life could you use a little inner rebel? Because to make a difference for yourself or for someone else, you have to be willing to conquer compliance. And when you're told there's no way, it's time for you to find your own way. And to do that, you kind of need 3 things to start out with. Number 1, you must become a critical thinker. Question everything you see and hear and are told, and especially tell yourself. 2, open to possibility that there could be another way. If you're not open, you won't see it even if it's right in front of you. And 3, take action where and how you can, even if it seems insignificant. Food and environment, not big, huge impact for my son. And life, history is full of examples of amazing people who have staged small acts of rebellion with big impact. Rosa Parks, very famously, simply refused to give up her seat on the bus to a white person. Huge impact. I think that the world needs more of these everyday rebels. So I want you to ask yourself, what could be different if I was willing to stand up and conquer compliance? Thank you.